Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto and Kushina rebuilt the Uzumaki clan together and married each other part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Naruto was too busy daydreaming about Kushina. Teenage hormones drove his emotions into ninja mode as he pictured his mom body in his mind again, and he realized with a start that he was making eye contact with his mom. Kushina had come over a visit his room to see him in the room. His began to rise in his pants, and he whimpered as he realized what was wrong with him. Nothing in the real world was getting through because his brain was already sliding back to Kushina's warm embrace. He recalls they slept together last night, was a mistake. What had she done to him? He can't stop thinking of her. What was she going to do to him? Kushina hadn't touched him since that first time experience. When he had woken up being by a Kushina, her wet nestled between his. So many emotions had flown through him in that second. Shock. Fear. What he did was wrong but he can't get Kushina out of his mind. Her nice tits. Her cute butt. She wiggling hair and feeling the pulse softly against his skin. He had squeezed it, run his hand up and down, it was difficult to let go. After minutes of thinking he was going to cry, moving into the shower to wash Kushina cum from his body, aching all over, before having the most pleasure time in his entire life. He didn't want to see her just yet. But realized Kushina still in the house. He heard heavy creaks on the floor. When she eventually arrived his heart began to pump with excitement. She had on a pair of shorts and wearing his white shirt that looked good on her. Hey Naruto. A sheepish grin was on her face. Hey, what's up mom? The young ninja legs crossed tight together as she sidled over to him, bringing her lips close to his ear. Quote. Nothing, just to see you son, she whispered, her lips grazing his ear. How are you? He squirmed at the warm touch. Fine mom, let go mom. Kushina had giggled, lightly brushing his back as he breathed, feeling her tits hit him. He let out a soft whimper. That's what you didn't say last night son. Whatever mom. I gotta go. He made it clear of the kitchen, running to his room. He took a few moments in his bedroom to try and calm his breathing as he wanted to play cards to clear his mind. The watch wore into his hand, as he was about to go mission, but then he thinks about Kushina hands touching him. No dude, last night was a mistake and go ask my mom. Last night was a mistake, but I can't, my mom is too hot. The words caught the hero throat. He knew what it felt like on what he did was wrong but he can't help to get his mom out of his mind. The young ninja slumped, looking over at the bed that was a mess, and the pieces of Kushina panties were on the floor. Her clothes from yesterday. The messy sheets. He could still smell her body, everywhere. Kushina performed and he closed his eyes shut, bing his head, and thought for a moment. I had with my mom. He remembers as he had bent her on all four for minutes, then she was on top of him with sweating bodies on her beautiful skin. No, I'm doing it again. He felt sick feelings Kushina insides him but it were good. A few minutes went by, until he cleaned his room. Just get rid of all my mom panties. Stop thinking about it. He picked up a red panties, where sweat had went on it. I can't believe I'm picking up Kushina underwear. I shouldn't ask her to come in here, just do it yourself. He sniffed it. Okay, just relax, don't sniff her underwear, it's wrong. He put the underwear on his desk and hopefully to play cards will clear his mind. So he can beat up some cards games. Just as he was about to go play, the sound of the bedroom door knocking froze his body. Knock. Who's there? Kushina voice came out. Son, it's me. May I come in? His heart began to pound. I'm a little busy mom. The voice paused. Like no you're not honey, open it or I'll break your door. Oh okay. The door opened, and Kushina walked in, with a smile on her face. God, you're so annoying. She bending over as she did so, and Naruto's eyes betrayed him with a look to her cleavage, and he could see all the way between them and down to her red bra and beyond. Her body loomed over him for a second. I'm not, Mom. Yes you are. She made to leave, speaking over her shoulder as she did so. About to go play cards. His face went pale. No. Just checking. My card, I wasn't going. She turned from the door as he looked at his watch, and stopped him by placing a hand on his cheek, a worried look on her face. Son, you're freaking out. He stared into her beauty eyes, seeing the beauty in her full body, wearing his white shirt. I'm not freaking out about you, Mom. You're so like lying, honey, because I think last night was amazing for once when we didn't have to fight aliens all the time, we needed this break. The redhead girl said, and the door clicking quietly behind her, and he turned to her, enjoying the view of her butt move back and forth. Once she leaves, his mind wandered around her. I want to her tits again. Okay, maybe Mom is right. I need to stop freaking out so much and enjoy my time with my mom, he thought in the back of his mind. The feeling of Kushina had him off to making him feel good. Yeah. He moaned at the thoughts aside of Kushina mouth as he cleaned his room for 10 minutes as he heard Kushina voice came up the stairs again and through his door. Honey, come down here for a minute. Kushina told him, and he got up walking down the stairs. When he got there, his froze seeing a Kushina standing by him, and he saw her cute tits out. Mom, why are you? The ninja stuttered, trying to gather his faculties, and he licked his lips as he saw her big tits as his neck nervously. She moved to him and unzipped his pants that fall around his ankles, her fingers around his, and licked her lips. To have fun, honey. Kushina rolled her eyes and she closed her hand around her son's soft member and gently stroked it in his boxers. See, you're hard and stop worry so much, no one won't found out about what we did. His eyes went wide when he saw his mom licked her lips, and he tried to squirm out of her grasp when she stroked his growing member up and down. Holding back a moan, the ninja squeezed her shoulders in reaction to the touch of her. No. He gritted out again. Mom, you know this isn't right, we're related. I don't, no one will know. She was stroking his up and down. She moaned as they for a minute, then she lay down on all fours and raising her into the air. Please honey, have fun with me again, I wanted your big muscles and big when you can go fast on me, she whimpered, swaying her hips, her face in the floor as she looked backwards to him. I need my son. Naruto saw a Kushina on all fours before him. Kushina was big. Her was wet still with need, which was hot. He crawled behind her holding her butt, and running her back. Oh. Please. Kushina moaned out. Her hips bucked backwards. This is wrong, but feel good. His eyes moved to her sweaty skin, and her 2s, moving as Kushina rose behind her and gripped her hips. Bracing himself against her, and he pressed his and moved his hips forward. Oh, that's right, son, I'd like. Feels so good and big, she purred out, feeling her son big manhood in her, and she moaned out into the afternoon day. Naruto gripped her slim hips and started to pull backwards just a bit, before pumping into her body again and began to rock against her, pressing forward into her tight, feeling good, as he thought about having Kushina all day. Holding her hips, he trusted a slow move. He pressed down into her body, moaning out each time he thrust into her where Kushina whimpered. Kushina panted against the floor, working her hips back. She hauled herself up onto her hands and knees, moaning loudly and starting to thrust back harder, wanting more and feeling two big arms grip her shoulders, and hold her big as he was bending over her and thrusting harder into her tight as she bucked backwards, her eyes squeezed shut, listened to the slapping sounds of her body ramming into her son each time they made love. Panting and gritting her teeth from pleasure, son, slamming his hips hard into her. He groaned out and slung one arm beneath her moving body and gripped her tits when he panted into her ear, oh, Mom. the hand capturing her nipple, and his arm holding her body, and she cried out as orgasm overtook her. The weather forecast said that the day was a 100 degrees, bright and sunny in the hidden leaf on a morning weather. In the bedroom the air conditioner set up a bedroom room with two was sleeping. Naruto groaned softly, stirring in his spot to look at the source on the opposite side of the bed, realizing that it had been Kushina, who currently was still with the most cute look on her face. Kushina red long hair was a mess. His mom was absolutely stunning, in the way that the morning sun's soft rays of light had Kushina's skin glowing in the bedroom. His mom was why, her body was like the ones in magazines, or so the seal would think. Although, his position was a little awkward, being lay out on his stomach. He can't believe he slept with his mom again, but he did like it, as his mom told him to just enjoy the ride. Kushina had rolled over just moments ago and throw her arm on his back, and him that had blush when she looked just so adorable with that relaxed on her face. My mom is hot, Naruto whispered, bringing a hand out to gently stroke his mom red locks. What am I doing? This is a mistake, she's my mother. The ninja thought, seeing Kushina had a soft smile on her face before a snore came through his mom body. But, my mom, is so hot. I do have the hots for my mother, ah man. He said and stroked Kushina cheek with the back of his hand, and he let his blue eyes drift down the skin of Kushina back. Damn, even her back was thick for her old age, that was perfect, and it looked so good. He ran his fingers through red hair one last time, his fingers sliding down the body. It was just as soft. Naruto eyes followed his fingers as they traced Kushina butt with wide blue eyes. What the heck? How come I didn't see this before? He moved his hand on her butt, which was big. Suddenly curious, he made his way down the mattress to soon come closer her huge left cheeks. Mom have a big butt, he blush. Damn, who knew his mother had such an? He watched her firm cheeks to bounce little by little. Oh my god. The ninja-haired boy blue eyes were stuck on Kushina rear end and felt his getting harder by the second. That. I see you've liked my butt, honey. AY voice spoken. Why yeah mom, the ninja stuttered, trying to find the right words to not sound like a complete idiot. How, mom? I mean. The Y redhead began to grin at her son cute stunned face. I work out to make my butt big, baby. I have to be in shape all the time. I want my butt big when we do it more, I'm a dirty girl. Yes you are, Naruto mumbled under his breath, sleeping with your son. Earning a chuckle from Kushina. Honey, I see what I likes. Naruto shrugged, a blush as his fingertips traced her big butt, strokes around it. Mom, you're bad, you know. Oh, I know, as I seductive you last night by you wanted more of me son, Kushina chuckled deeply. How can I forget? Naruto bit his lip and brought himself onto his knees on the bed. He reached for the opposite side of Kushina and, without hesitancy, flipped the redhead woman over, earning a squall of her. My son, you want me already? She smirked, her green eyes staring lustfully at her son. I've been thinking mom. He whispered and his hands moved to Kushina hips. You told me to enjoy us and my dad, the villager and my friends won't found out about us. Kushina feel the warm hand, her eyes open on her son, every movement roamed over her skin. Yes son, Kushina murmured breathlessly, her fingers combing through her big. Okay mom, I take your offer to have fun with my mother, and besides you're hot, he muttered in response, touching her big rather slowly, admiring the feel of it. Cause I will go crazy for not seeing you mom. The we had were so hot. Also it feel good. I've been thinking we have to keep our new UAL relationship a secret from the villager, Matim and my crush Sakura. Oh, I know, son, Sakura is no good for you, she always hurt you every time you tell her how you feel about her. Kushina purred, pressing herself against her son's chest. There was a soft smirk on her lips as she let her fingers slide through her son's smooth stomach. Yeah mom, Sakura always turned me down. Naruto shivered underneath her touch and grinned at his why mom as he shifted his body into a more comfortable position, Nestling himself between Kushina's spread legs, then he saw a text on his watch. Huh, Sakura just texted me. He swiped and started typing. What did she say? Kushina asked, seeing Naruto's face. Hey Naruto, we have school, get a move on now. Naruto repeated, slapping a hand on Kushina's arm. She said I got to get to school. I have 10 minutes to get ready. Kushina's reaction was a smirk. Niece. More time with you. Yes, we can spend more time with each other since I am relationship with you, now. Naruto teased with a smirk. Kushina nodded, her arms wrapping completely around him, pressing their exposed skins against each other. Yes, you are, son. You are all mine and I am all yours, son, and my husband in the village won't know about us. Who would have thought that I'm now seeing my hot mom? He chuckled softly and pressed it to Kushina's mouth, then trailed soft as further down until he reached her tongue. His lips tasted Kushina's skin there, causing Kushina's body to shake with small of laughter. The redhead smirk underneath her sun mouth. Finally Naruto wasn't denying her anymore as her back slightly arching and her nails digging into her sun's skin. Oh, Naruto, she mewed into the blonde locks. Naruto smiled against Kushina's head as he soon brought them down once again, tracing an invisible line down Kushina's torso. The further he went, the louder the whimper came from her. It wasn't long before he had reached his mom's intimate meat, his body now flat on the bed and his head level with his mom wet. The ninja had his tongue along his mom, his head drooping and exploded on her. He ate her out. The redhead gripped the sheets of the bed when the ninja tongue went into her and began eating her wet. Oh. Oh, yes, baby. Oh. Right there. Her body moved when she suddenly felt him put his fingers in her, causing her to cry out a little louder. Ah. F. Eat my. Her head was tossed back and her eyes shut. She reached down with her hands and gripped her boyfriend's head, pushing him in further in her super wet. Oh, yes, eat me, son. She moaned with her back arching and her hips gyrated forward against her son's mouth, trying to add more pressure and movement to her aching center. Naruto grinned and proceeded to repeat his movement, this time adding slightly more pressure as he ended on the Kushina sensitive. His mom's body jerked slightly before grinding against his face, her legs spreading wide as she begged for more. He could only smirk in response before slipping his tongue into the redhead, his hands touch on the insides of Kushina's thick thighs. He set a move pace when he took his tongue from Kushina's writhing form. His mom made few noises and she came on of her release. The ninja boy slipped his tongue from Kushina's entrance and flicked the little pink over it until Kushina came with a soft cry of pleasure. Her back arched off the bed in the intense moment of pure pleasure and her fingers tugged and twisted in the soft messy blonde locks on her new lover's head and Naruto made her had a orgasm, licking up any juices that had came out. Oh god son, that was good. She came with a soft moan to rumble in the back of her throat when Naruto had finished up with his licks and crawled back up the length of her body. You're my new taste mom, he whispered with a tease, pressing it just below his mom's ear. PFF'd, I'm not disappointed son. Kushina moaned to herself. I made you into a man. She smirked and wrapped her arms tightly around the ninja body, her chest heaving as she continued to catch her breath. You can have all of this body anytime you want. The ninja grinned and buried his face in Kushina's red locks. Who would give up on a redhead that wants him? And who can say no to a body that looks like that? Nice bouncy ass, long beautiful legs, narrow hips, big booty cheek. No one, and now they were in a relationship. Her soft lips pressed to tender his cheeks. I like you, and found you more handsome than my husband. You're becoming the ninja and saving the world that I like. And you have a big son, better than my husband, he's small. Kushina seductive at her man. I know, Maya's big, wait dad is tiny. The ninja chuckled being his big as his mom eyes meeting his big meat by her licking her lips. Yes, your father never pleased me which is. She chuckled and Naruto moans, feeling his mom's soft hands grasping around his shaft, and she starts to stroke his at a medium pace, feeling how big and twitchy it felt. His balls looked quite big too. Her son was going to give her again a big all for herself, not for Sakura or any or the girls' fans that loves her son, who fights thugs all the time and saving the hidden leaf. Naruto was hers. Kushina smirk, hearing Naruto just kept moaning and biting his lower lip. Feeling pleasure, she starting to give a blowjob by deep-throating. Ah. On my. Mom. On. Kushina leant down to lick around the tip and drag her tongue up and down the sides. At the same time, she then moved back to the top before taking the head of his into her mouth. He groaned when he felt his mom his head move back as his mom began ing him while her hand worked his base. Oh, mom. That feels great. Oh. When she started bobbing her head up and down on his shaft and the blonde ninja had moaned, the way she was ing him was so good. Looking down at his mom to see her gaze up at him, her lips on around his, the ninja Jinchuriki panted and gripped the sheets tightly when he saw her move. Oh, keep going, yes mom. She dropping down more, and take the as more as she could, she deep-throating him, which had a loudest noise from the blonde ninja. Seeing his girlfriend moved back up and repeated the blowjob. Kushina continued to blowjob her mom with her mouth. She removed herself from his, causing a groan of disappointment to leave him. Her detachment didn't last for long, however. She then moved up and enveloped his in her big ass, where she squeezed them together and began to move. Tit job is the best, isn't son? The ninja nodded. Yeah, it is. Mom. He groaned when Kushina increased the speed of her movements, pushing her big S together and running them up and down his long, then dipping her head down and taking the head of his into her mouth. As she stroked him with her S, sending pleasure came through his body as he hold on the sheet. Mom, he moaned as his facial expression changed every second, clenching the bedsheets with all his might. His mom was ing him off. The way her head went up and down on his, how amazing her tongue and big felt around his, and her hands slowly groping his testicles feel good. AANHHNHN. O splash asterisk ah. MOMMMMMMM. Kushina mouth was flooded by the amount of cum. It was so tasty and thick, but she didn't let one single drop fall and instead swallowed all, before going up and letting go of his with a pop. Oh, yeah. Taste good son, she said with a Thai look in her eyes. Naruto was huffing. That was amazing. A smirk came to her face. Thanks, son, she whispered, bringing Naruto's face closer to her own. I liked being alone with you and I do quite enjoy it. And I enjoy it too. I'm not denying it anymore. I knew I had the hots for you. And right then, I knew that I couldn't possibly lose you, at least so soon. All of the fears about being a mistake had vanished, and life is too short to pass up such a rare opportunity. I'm enjoying the ride with my mom. Same, I do enjoy the ride with my son, and I do not want to let you go. Yes. Naruto sighed softly. Kushina flashed her man that perfect smile before tossing onto her side with a finger trailing down the blonde abdomen. He shivered from the contact, his muscles constricting with angst. Now, let me, the redhead grunted slightly as she hoisted herself up and on top of the ninja boy that lay next to her. Make love to you. Mom. This time, I'm taking control. You not using any clones on me. Nice. Naruto grin. Yes. I am going ride you as I you senseless. The girl purred, her hot mouth mere inches from her son's own, pressing her lips lightly to the brunette. And I do hope you will enjoy it again. I will, mom. I definitely will. He breathed, tilting his head up to capture the redhead lips, this time in a hot. His fingers twisted in red locks as Kushina ed him back with great force, the entire lower half of her body pressing against Naruto's flesh. Their lips came together as Naruto felt those very fingers slide further south, down his hard big. When they met with his entire body reacted with great passion, Kushina nails digging into his skin, hips bucking upwards, and legs closing in around him, and spreads her cheeks around his member as the warm and squishy skin embraces him. A wave of pleasure and happiness comes by the ninja boy. Oh, Naruto moaned softly, his back arching slightly off the bed. Kushina his causing her cheeks to clap around his when she had started to slowly add pressure to a certain spot of her writing that had Naruto eyes nearly rolling to the back of his head. Don't stop. I don't plan on it, son. She purred and quickly plops her S between Naruto face once letting him feel the big and round of flesh and trail tender S down the sweat skin of his neck. I plan to keep riding you all morning until my husband comes back. Yes. Naruto bit his lip, his eyes squeezing shut as Kushina ride harder onto the spot that had Naruto squirming on the bed underneath, seeing his mom hips smack down on his and her slam back into him more. Her tongue hung out her mouth. Naruto hand took hold of her big with his right hand, and he could see her eyes were half-lidded with a drool was dribbling down her chin, staining the sheets under her. The bed is quaking over the weight and movement coming from Kushina shaking her huge cheeks on her new boyfriend. He slapped her with his free left hand and soon held the reddening cheek in vice grip. Son, yes'm, Kushina croaked out with her shakes while still pounding on her mom. I'm far from being done. In fact, we have all morning. Yeah, mom, he grunted, looking at Kushina face of pleasure. His hands wrapped around her butt. Oh yes. Kushina cried out as she ride her son harder and she chanted over and over again, never once lowering the volume of her voice. She began to move and rocking her hips back and forth when she moved on his shaft and moved back down on him, she repeated her trust over and over again. Her son hold to her big B giving it a slap, his mother ride him harder, he thrusts up to meet his mom more. Their movements became fast and Kushina lifted her hips, he thrusting into her tight when she dropped down. The ninja quickened his pace more who grunts left his lips. At the same time the redhead moans grew more harder and higher in pitch when she felt her lover push deep inside of her. Each plunge bringing her closer and closer to a mind-blowing climax. Ah. Yes. Son. Yes. Ah. More. Harder. She gasped and almost cried out when he, complying with her demand, upped his tempo and power. Feeling secure in his grasp, Kushina removed her hands from her son's chest and reached up to grab her bouncing S now. She roughly massaged the soft flesh and rolled the nipples between her thumbs. Ooh, yeah, I'm riding you hard, son. Mom, Naruto groaned, loving the feeling of being inside his mom when his hips snapped in and out of her, and his hands tightened around his mother full big again. It felt so good to be inside of Kushina. She's so hot and she feels warm. He could feel her wet juice around his. The ninja just stared at her and her large, bouncing S. He reached up, pushed her hands out of the way, and began touching the big in her place again, rolling and holding her in time with their hip movements. The ninja Jinchuriki moan and set a pace trust. The of which caused Kushina to throw her head back and cry out even louder. Ah. Yes. Son. S so good. Oh, I'm not stopping. She cried out, continued moving in and out of his big. She saw her son sat up and ran his hands from her chest back down to her hips. Kushina eyes look into his blue eyes with the pleasure shot through her body, making her moan and her body grow hot. She moved and she could feel his hot moving with her, turning her on even more. The was giving her was wonderful. She bounced hard against her son, she cried out more. Yes. Son. Yes. Good. Picking up speed as she felt herself coming closer and closer to her screams, she felt him hold her hips and push her down one last time on his chest as she wrapped her arms around her boyfriend and cried out more. Oh. Yeah. Kushina entire body melted inside her body, she come around Naruto's big. The ninja wrapped his arms around her and holding her close. When her body went silent, he felt her chest press against his who she took in deep breaths, her body with sweat dripping down her skin. Later tonight in Naruto home. Down below a simple neighborhood home of a particular Kushina house. In the room was her husband Minato Namikaze, who was sleeping on his hard work this morning. She and her son spent all morning having until Naruto went to school as time move on. Her husband was here and not Naruto, who was with his friends after school. She left Naruto a text saying meet her at the hotel not here cause his dad is here. Minato Namikaze was trying to felt his wife by his side, only for him to wake up with a start at a sound. He instantly peek at the bedside clock, and Minato Namikaze can see it was approaching 8 p.m. on at night. Yawning, Minato Namikaze raised his hands to his eyes, looking around the room. I'm sorry. Did I wake you up, honey? Kushina announced. It's okay. He says as he sits up in bed. Is everything okay, Kushina? Minato Namikaze got a perfect view of her flawless behind. There's an emergency at my friend's house. I have to go check on Makoto. Kushina explains, staring at him with a lie. But she was really seeing Naruto, her son tonight, which she couldn't stop thinking about Naruto, the way he made her feel, the incredible orgasm he had brought her to, how turned on she immediately became whenever they were even in the same room. She was seeing her son tonight again. Okay, Minato Namikaze says with a sigh, making Kushina finally look at him. I'll be home by morning. Makoto want me to stay with her. Kushina continuously lies. Okay, honey. Be safe. Try to come home early as you can, and that would be the end of the discussion until. Kushina, wait. Minato Namikaze jolted from his bed when he gulped once her stare met his. She was so beautiful. What is it? She asked with her hand on her bedroom doorknob. Seeing her husband Minato Namikaze stood up straight and locked his eyes once more with his wife. I love you. Minato Namikaze exclaimed. I love you, be safe and tell Makoto I say hello. He expected her to say it back, to him, hug him, but she didn't. Not a single smile, like not it uses to be. Kushina. She didn't say anything. Not a single sound. Do you not love me back? Her eyes look away. Who she frowns. She's in love with her son and they were in a relationship now, hiding it from everyone. She was not lovers to her husband anymore. She can't let her husband and the villagers know about her secret relationship with her son. Dear. I have to go, Minato. And with that, she was gone and she quietly shut the door and disappeared out of his sight. In the Hidden Leaf Hotel later that night. Breaking news. This evening Naruto had stopped a thug for stealing in the village tonight after he got off school early. Way to go Naruto, you do it again. Keep up the good work. The news ladies say. As soon as the news died out, it was replaced with music. Lights shined throughout the hotel from the living room. Naruto sat on the couch. He hollered in excitement, awaiting for his mom to arrive. Kushina been pleased that her boyfriend is here at the hotel when she had texted him. She also knows her son stopped crime early on his way here. After leaving her house she decided to dress and give her boyfriend a show on his arrival. The redhead heels were heard in the living room, and Naruto immediately turned his head as she walks. His mom outfit left nothing to the imagination. A red two-piece bikini that barely even covered her nipples and wore white lace thigh-high socks that brought out her beautiful legs. She clanked every time she walked with her black heels as she walked towards the front of the living room, giving her a great view down her cleavage before kneeling over her son's lap. Wow, you look great in red mom. Naruto smiled, grabbing her wrist and passionate her. He pulled away just enough to see her clearly, leaving his arms wrapped around her waist. I've been waiting all day to do that since this morning mom. He acknowledged, a hint of blush on his cheeks. Kushina smiled back. Oh, you have, huh? How about I give you a lap dance son? She teased. Maybe that should wait, mom. We're going out tonight, we going on our first date. He smiled, made a motion toward her bedroom. A happy excitement spread through her chest at the thought. As she and her son were going out tonight, maybe the lap dance can wait, the redhead wants to have a good evening out. Well, it's been forever since she been on another real date that's not her husband. After all, she'd going on a date with her son this time. A nice evening of going out sounds good. She mumbled. Baby, that sounds wonderful. She headed in the direction of the hotel bedroom to put on more comfortable clothes. Naruto continues to sit on the hotel couch. His arm still was a little sore from stopping a thug an hour ago after he got to the hotel waiting for his mom to come out of their room. I wish I could be rich so mom and I can live in a big home so we can hide it from my dad. He told himself, looking at the ceiling, unaware that his mom leans against the doorframe. So ready to go, honey. Kushina, smirked seductive and the ninja nearly jumped off his couch. He gulped, somehow surviving not to pass out at the sight of his girlfriend. Kushina wore a pair of tight wide denim jeans, blue shorts that show her big butt and long legs that's perfect, and a plain red spaghetti strap crop tank top, low cut enough to show off an amount of big cleavage. Her red hair was down to her shoulders. Wow, his mom is hot in anything she wears, plus red suits her very well. He wondered. After about 2 minutes of silence, his jaw stopped hitting the floor. His voice decided to make a response. Yeah, mom, I'm ready to go. The blonde asked when he pushed himself up from the couch. He had tried not to rip off her clothes again and to her. When he stares at his mom, they need to go out. His voice not decided to crack at that precise moment. Oh, the objectives were on UAL ideas. He saw his mom smile at him, and she was too doing her best to ignore the sudden herd of butterflies doing in her stomach. Oh, get a grip. She commanded herself. You are not going to get caught. A date is nothing to get nervous over. We are two people going out, don't or hold hands in public. My son is underage. She answered to herself, leaving the hotel with her son follow suit in the parking lot, retrieved her car. The two got in and turning the engine on and headed down the road. 1 hour later. The ride to the restaurant district took about half an hour to a teen restaurant noodles shop. You've got to be kidding me honey, Kushina said and ran her fingers through her red hair. You had me drove all this way to a teen noodles restaurant for our first date. I should just give you the lap dance instead. Naruto just laughed at his hot mother girlfriend. He'd had a feeling her reaction would be like this. Baby, not just a teen restaurant, it has all ages from teens and adults, he corrected, getting out of her car. And have cool ninja games, we can play after we eat remans. It was my idea to let you drive hours away from the hidden leaf, so you'll don't have to worry about your husband or someone who knows us. He added, glancing around the restaurant and saw her pout a little by folding her arms. Good thing you are cute, son. I cannot stay upset with you. Kushina teased. As much as she hated to admit it, her son had a pretty good point. That's teens and adults were here to eat by having a good time, so that leaves her to have a good time but she still need to be careful because she is still in relationship with her husband who told her husband she doesn't love him anymore, she's love her son. No affection on Naruto. She thought. Gazing at her boyfriend, Naruto was so excited about some reman. Doing her best to keep her compunctions, she followed her boyfriend to the restaurant's entrance. Here goes nothing, just don't hold my son hand all night. She braced herself and Naruto opened the door for her. Ah, after you. He sighed happily with a wink, holding the door open and let his secret lover in ahead of him. Why, thank you honey. Kushina winked back by walking in, who added a shake to her hips caused the ninja boy to stare at his mom big butt. Holy crap, mom has a nice big booty, she's wasn't kidding when she said she'd work out to make her butt big. The ninja thought with a grin, who he watch his mom big butt bounce up and down. Some men were drooling, and their eyes fixed on Kushina the whole time. The other two men blush on their booth, watches Kushina walk and they glance towards her. Naruto was jealous of the men and teen boys checking out his hot mom girlfriend. Kushina clanked every time she walked with her heels as she walked towards the front of the counter. The guys roared, causing the seal ninja to ball up his fist as she approached the counter. Woo! A guy gawked at her until Kushina noticed that he had been staring at her. He turned his head away as soon as she looked at him, who rolled her eyes. Raising an eyebrow, she minded herself to the counter with her son by her side. The other guys turned towards his friends. Did you guys see that hot red hair beauty? Yeah, pal. I'm going to ask her to come over here, he said, getting up seeing Naruto and Kushina reach the counter to order. Good evening, young men. What can I get for you? A cashier greets them from her desk. Hey, Naruto said, looking over her name tag. It read, Sarah-san, lovely evening Sarah-san. He greeted nicely, resulting in Kushina and the lady to smile at his kind words. Me and Kushina like 2 remans, game tokens, please. Right away, sweetie. The cashier rang them up and dropped a bag of tokens into the ninja's hand. Hey there, sugar. Can I take you out sometime? A strongly built man approached her seductively. Kushina turned around and spotted a handsome guy with muscle wearing a tight muscle shirt. The redhead protested firmly as the guy leaned in further, pushing him away with a hand on his chest. That's a no, not happening, so leave. I'm with my friend and sorry, you're not exactly my type, she said. This is unbelievable, he declared. What's a guy got to do? Is it because I'm not pretty enough? Kushina narrowed her eyes. Hey, leave her alone, old dude. Don't you see we are here to have a good time? The seal spat. He examined the men. This your girl? You look way too young to be with this hottie. She is way out of your league. This guy had way too many beers and needed to calm down for hitting on his secret lover. She's just a friend, old dude. Hottie, how'd you like to ditch this blonde loser and come party with me? Old man, I'll say back off now. So I'm going to ask twice, is there a problem, old guy? Naruto asks again, an eyebrow up, balling his fist, glimpsing of 2 guards walking up to them. No problem at all. He back away. It's okay, Kushina, he's just leaving. Kushina looks directly at her son smiling at his bravery, and the guy leaves. No need to worry. I'm gone. This fine lady obviously doesn't need me, too busy hanging out with a loser. Hope to see you around soon, old dude, not. Naruto glared at him. Naruto, that was very sweet of you on what you did. You protect me. Well, nobody hit on my mom, only me. He whispered in her ear, smiling at her. When we leave from here, honey, Kushina grinned, peeking at the state of her son pants as well. I'd say I'd help you with that, but you're gonna have to wait until, at least, we get back to the hotel, son, after this date is over. Just a little bit of patience, and I'll make it worth your while, son. Kushina said and whisper in Naruto ear, seductive. Naruto grins, happy and letting out a low cheer. I'm going to get more tickets than we can eat reman and have fun. She finished with another grin, taking their bag of tokens from the table, and she tossed her red head back to look at him, gave him a wink, and walked forward. He had one thought as he ran to catch up with her. Mom have a big butt, and it's mine only. A moment later, and the 2 lovers spent the next several minutes audibly enjoying their food, trading warm glances, and engaging in pleasant small talk. The rest of their dinner passed easily, each of them trading stories, and the 2 finish eating their remans and play some games. Kushina managed to earn more tickets from the basketball game machine than Naruto did, but she had also set a new high score. 300. The high score read. "Ah man, I lost again," he said with a chuckle, but the blonde can't help but stare at his beautiful girlfriend in front of him. His mom was having a good time. You know, honey. Kushina teased, waving her 300 tickets in hand. I could teach you a thing or two of playing basketball, Naruto, and I used to play when I was younger, I still got it. Hold the phone, mom. I need a breather. I'm beat, he groans, whipping his face from sweat with his shirt. Kushina laughed and pulled her son on to the next game before he had sat down of tiredness. As Kushina dragged him towards the bowling alley, the ninja felt worried that he would lose again. He'd planned on impressing her with his fantastic gaming skills, but his mom were winning. Ah man, how is this possible? He was the only one that was very good at video games, but somehow his mother are a master of games. He groaned, watching Kushina score another strike, but couldn't help stare at her beautiful legs and big butt. The night wore off, and Kushina wins more games. Victories for Kushina on the games of winning, though Naruto did manage to pull in a few on the straight 100 tickets of Cards Ninja's games. Between rounds, they needed a break of tiredness, and they would wander back to their booth, and Kushina has been having fun on her first date with her son as she let out a smile who she would have with him after their date is over. Kushina having more fun with her secret boyfriend than her husband, and she's in love with her son. Back at the hotel, Naruto grabbed his mom's hips to steady Kushina and pushed in the final inches of his, making his move inside his mom completely. The sight of his big vanish in Kushina, and his hands on Kushina hips. The ninja gently move on making Kushina feel good, continuing his deep thrusts into her, causing Kushina to moan. This was so good that the redhead would never wanted this moment to end as she begging her son to her hard. They got back from their date with clothes on the floor and tickets lay on the bed. Oh yes, son, harder. Kushina yelled feeling her son do her harder. He was pounding into her fast. She was very well aware of her son inside of her. The sound of their bodies slapping together filled the room, along with their grunts and moans. Naruto gave his mom a deep trust more as the redhead mind was completely blown out. All she could think about right now was Naruto-ing her good in her. You have such a nice butt mom. The ninja said as he slapped his mom checks. Thanks honey. Ah, don't stop. Take my. Kushina was yelling in the hotel feeling Naruto move his hands over her sweat-thick back, while he moved faster and Kushina big bounced, continuing his hard and deep thrusts into her, varying it to the hard move every time when he gently took her from behind doing her doggy styled. Oh yes, mom feel too good, crap her inside's warm. He growls thought with his hands on Kushina butt, fully move his big into Kushina butt and moving him further forward with his thrust in and out of her. Mom you're making me go nuts, you feel too good. A Naruto said getting sweaty on his body who thrust his in force. This was really something he loved a screaming mom, he's so lost on feeling too good by the hot and he admired the sight in front of Kushina thick body and big butt moving back on his. You really like that mom, you like my big inside you, mom you're warm insides me. The seal said, spanking Kushina big butt that moves in slow motion with sweat drips down on the hotel bed. Oh, yes. I love your son. She moaned completely with her mouth open and her hands clutching on the bed. You're so warm, thanks for the after we went on our day. It's so good. He purred with a hard voice. The ninja informs his mom, giving Kushina a hard thrust, making the redhead moan out loudly. Suddenly he hit a spot inside his mom again, causing the redhead to let out a loud cry in the hotel. Son, yes, right there oh pound my so good. This is your reward for projecting me with those man for hitting on me. She yelled with her eyes shout, and some liquid leaked out of her. Feelings her so picked up pace and repeatedly hit her spot, making her moan out. Her son big 16 inches went in and out her as the boy to her harder. Son, the redhead mumbled, making Naruto increase the pace of his thrusts with force. The tip of the repeatedly poked his mom's spot sending shivers of pleasure through her entire body when he kept thrusting his in and out, causing the redhead to drool come out of her mouth. Yes, yes, yes honey, pound me hard. She begged unable to control her desires any longer and Naruto gave her a slap on her big again while he massaged the redhead spot. And then another one, earning a sultry moan from his cute mom. Oh crap. That's the spot. Kushina giggled. Are you enjoying being by your son? Naruto said with deep and hard thrust, accompanied by several more swats on Kushina gaping, big. During all of this the redhead was just space out from each thrust she received. Yes, I'm enjoying it. Feeling her son put even more force and speed into his thrusts. Kushina's sweaty body came on the bed, and her so spread her legs open as he to her harder when she yell out. She was sweating as much as Naruto when some water hit their skin to the floor. She was moaning loud and rocked her hips back more, moving deeper inside of the ninja with her lover thrusting became faster and Kushina groan became louder. Naruto continuing slapped her well big with the redhead's sweaty hands on the bed higher as her big breath touched the bed. Kushina face were flushed, she's covered in sweat a lot. She felt the inside of her go hard as she gasps. Yes. Me harder. Just like that son. Her voice between screams feeling her son monster big enter her insides with reckless loud thump of her hips smacking her big booty. Naruto grunted like a wild animal as he tightened his hand around his hot mom waist and continued to pound the screaming redhead woman beneath. His mom big shaking helplessly in the air as he hit Kushina butt with mercy and he smirk. The seal palm came down hard with the butt jiggling flesh before him and Kushina reveled in the moans that echoed from her mouth. Her toes curled when she was literally ed onto the bed banging loudly against the walls with each thrust of their hips moving. The redhead sank as her sweaty was onto the soaked bed that the tickets got watered on. Her sweaty body moved when her partner was thrusting as she was bounced back hard with her lips water and big continuously to move. Kushina cried out as her boyfriend took her sweaty arms and pulled her up, forcing her chest into the air when he pounded her good. She drools came out. Still bounced hard in the room. Her son was driving her apart. She cried out. Yes. She moaned with her back hits the controlling ninja chest when she cried, and gasped when her sweet spot was touched with force. The next thing she felt her son lips push against her own in a rough passionate. Her sweaty skin body chest touched her son's stomach as Kushina lost herself in a moan into her son wet lips. Their lips crashed together in a violent of passion, tongues in their mouths when they'd have all night to have with not her husband coming in to interfere them. She herself was driven by the harness being her every time she moved her hips into Naruto, stilling him. She couldn't stop now, this was too good still. Her sub was making her feel really good. She had incredible orgasm in her with her. Naruto, the redhead woman shout not noticing her son was not slowing down even a bit. Naruto picked up the pace, simultaneously trusting Kushina with his hard big and sliding it in and out of the girl butt. He slaps Kushina big with his free hand and suddenly feels his mom tighten around him. Yes. So good. Naruto continues bucking his hips up, thrusting up into Kushina wet faster, with his hands wrapped around Kushina booty who feel good-ing his mom so fast and so good in the hotel as they didn't stop, he immediately speed up too. This is so hot, having in the hotel bathroom. Kushina thought with her sweet moans filled the bathroom as she and her son went to the bathroom to have after they made a mess in their bedroom hotel. Kushina body gave a shudder scream when her son pressed his against her ring. Naruto slowly began to trust more pressure, the last bit of his into her with an audible pop. Immediately Kushina began screaming more at the good. Oh, you're so warm, mom, the seal said while he grew his biggest with one of her many pleasures jutsu that he had began to grow inside of Kushina body where his got bigger inside the redhead girl wet. The tip of the repeatedly poked Kushina G-spot sent shivers of pleasure through his entire body. Naruto kept thrusting his in and out, causing his mom to drool come out her mouth from all the she received. Yes. Pound me hard son. Kushina begged unable to control her desires any longer and her son gave the naughty girl a slap on her big while he massaged her G-spot. And then another one, earning a sultry moan from his hot cute girlfriend. Harder. Faster. She begged. Naruto continued to pound into his mom body wet spots that he had inflicted into Kushina body and her. It took a considerable amount of his medical jutsu that grew bigger as he keeps seeing his mom with his trust. You feel so good, mom. Kushina body pressed into the bathroom sink, her butt arched into the air, her hands on the bathroom sink. She was screaming loudly and felt her son big bulls into her wet. The ninja place a hand onto her left butt cheek, spreading her wide so that he could watch himself pushing the big into his girlfriend. His other hand places onto the redhead girl waist. He continues her growth chakra into Kushina. The grows at least 15 inches long, big and thick. Seeing the little move in Kushina body, he started to move faster against that one spot, brushing up against it with the length of his huge Kushina body has been melting from the big that belongs to her son. The redhead moans escalated as her sweet spot was struck repeatedly, moaning like a whore. She enjoyed the from her son. Her body felt so hot. She cried out weakly again, "Son, it's did your got bigger?" "Yes, I grew my bigger with my jutsu, mom." Naruto grinned when he smacked his mom big and started delving in deeper. The ninja went in deeper more. Yes, NGHH. Kushina's shiver of pleasure shot up inside, her eyes rolling back as it did so. At this point, her son just continued to moan and mew louder. She began thrust her hips backward to meet her son while her big bounced on the bathroom sink. The ninja could see his girlfriend's big butt and the roll in her hips. "Mom, you love my big, don't you?" He purred seeing his mom shake, his free hand grabbing a hold of Kushina big and giving a nice slap. "I do, son." Kushina grunted out, moaning out and rocked her hips back on her boyfriend big, bury itself deeper inside of her wet. Her son thrust became faster and her groans became louder. Her eyes closed shut, her need and lust for Naruto who was so cruelly driving into her harder. "Me harder, faster, please honey, we have all night." In the hotel lobby, the crowd heard screams and yelling. In the bathroom, everyone was watching on with the song being played in the hotel background. "Lucky, 2 people is getting laid in their room." A person responded who listening on down the hall. "Naruto. Oh, right there." Kushina chanted repeatedly, her boyfriend thrust and hitting the same place consistently. "Urgh, crap you so wet." Naruto screams out the hotel. The crowd begins to whisper to one another, enjoying the sounds of 2 people having in the hotel that was so loud which came out of their room. Kushina released a yell who she clutched at the sink with all her might. Poor sink almost broke by her big that had water on them. She's really yelling. "Damn, that's hot. Oh my, they are so loud. We can hear them having. So hot." The crowd spoke out hearing the couple shout. "Bend your big butt over some more." Naruto commanded, making the redhead woman grin back. Notice her son grabbed her hips to steady her and pushed in his big, the disappear inside Kushina completely. The sight of his disappearing inch by inch into his mom hot girlfriend butt as his buried deep inside the redhead beauty. The blonde moved forward with a gentle thrust, causing Kushina to moan. This was already so good that he would never wanted this moment to end when his mom begged to him senseless. He went in deep inside her before he would start thrusted back and forth, rimming that. He was also smacking that butt lightly every few seconds. The ninja then decided to put the on his secret girlfriend most sensitive wet and decided to push it in single thrust. Kushina was being ed countless. Naruto was not surprised to see the moan in his mom voice. "Oh yes. Keep going, it feel good." The redhead said feels her son slowly pulled the almost out and pushed it fully back in, earning a drawn-out moan from the redhead MILF woman with her big move back and forth. "Oh honey, pound my. You. More UGHHHH." Kushina were in heaven. All she wanted was her son big. In fact, it was quite obvious hard when she was moaning. She truly is in love with her son and his. Naruto pulled out the out of her in a swift motion and he screamed on the tops of his lungs. "You, Danum. You're dripping wet." The ninja slammed into her harder with his mom was sweater. He ran his hands up and down Kushina back, scraping his nails down her back and big. He thrust in and out so hard, slowly pulls his out of Kushina, making the redhead woman moan more. He thrusts his back into his mom, making more shameful moans to escape his girlfriend lips. He repeats this process, pulling his halfway out of his mom and thrusting it back deep into Kushina wet hole, the sound of his hip colliding with the redhead. Kushina booty slowly starting to take over as Naruto becomes completely focused on ing his mom big booty, and doing her hard. Ah. Oh my yes. Oh my yes. Oh yes. Oh my more. Kushina moaned with a shaking leg and grabbed at the sank. Harder. Do me harder, faster, please. The redhead thrust back against her boyfriend, feels the big thick press against her. She was going to explode from just the hard stimulation of Naruto giving her. She mindlessly screams as the godly feeling overtakes her, making every inch of her body numb. Had pleasure as her son continues to her in the. She falls on the sank and Naruto smiles as he continues ing her hard. The crowd heard the two couple by the door and they was enjoying the intimate show of two couple in the bathroom, made this the most erotic experience they ever had seen. Naruto slowly nestled himself into Kushina big butt. There was a loud plopping sound outside of the bathroom, when Naruto crashed into his mom's soft butt cheeks. The cry of shouts delight came out of the bathroom, the crowds got from the noise was music to their ears. Naruto took a moment to marvel at the feeling, his big deep into Kushina that he had come to love, but it was only a moment as all his attention was more focused on the tight warmth surrounding his length so pleasantly than the amazement that he felt by doing Kushina. Then the next moment he pulled back his tip, before surging back into Kushina with all the force, slamming his mom into the sank which the bathroom mirror had broken into the wall. A strangled loud gurgle erupted from Kushina mouth, as Naruto feel her suddenly got wetter around his big. Wet sticky juice started to splash on his mom thick thighs and legs as he held himself to the hot redhead woman. My, Kushina yell. Crap, keep screaming and beg, for my mom. Naruto exclaimed, his hands on his mom big S encouraging him to squeeze them while Kushina did the same to her S. The ninja then dragged his mom towards him, scream more. My. I'm your bitch, just continuing make me. Kushina shout in return brought a smug grin to Naruto face. Seeing that his mom was screaming and begging for him to her more and more, he worked up a big gob of spit and spat into his hand, then began working it into his big that was still inside his girlfriend. Mom, I like this, way better to be here than our house so dad can see us. Now brace yourself mom cuz I'm not done yet, Naruto said. He then clamped a hand onto Kushina left big cheek and pried apart, while his other hand placed the pointed tip of his big against Kushina wet entrance. He was going in and out. Kushina closed her eyes in response to Naruto words, picking up the pace, bringing her close enough to lock lips with passionate thrusting her tongue in Naruto mouth matching the rhythm of her son hips. Naruto tore his mouth away from Kushina causing her to open her eyes and look at him. She threw her head back in abandon screaming Naruto name. Naruto forced the rest of his deeper into Kushina. Oh, you feel so good. He grunted a yell, his eyes half closed as he slowly nestled himself into his mom woman area. Kushina cries of delight were so loud too. When she released another cry of F, Naruto decided that he was going to bang his girlfriend harder on the sank. There was a loud plopping sound when his big crashed into the redhead soft wet, his large balls bashed loudly into the woman body. He pressed his nipple into his mom back as he brought his lips to her ear. You're my. Say I am your. I'm your, F. Kushina trembled against her. Naruto wasn't surprised to find sweat beating down her skin. His mom was squirming deliciously against him in such a way that the ninja had to take a deep breath and shut his blue eyes at the wonderful feeling doing his mother. FFMEA. Kushina voice rose into a scream noticeable he son pulled out again only to throw his whole body into the next thrust. A smug smirk was on the seal lips. He had the best performance in the hotel bathroom, which he didn't notice the people continued to hear them. He put the tip once more before pushing back in, pleased when Kushina thrust herself against him greedily a lot. With her acceptance of her pulsing, he was easily able to set up a rhythm that had the redhead shaking, whimpering, and moaning of the good feeling. Her sun hand lashed out to grasp the redhead messy hair and pull her upper body up so that he could look at the melt expression on his girlfriend's face. Does it feel good, Mom? Naruto snarled, with a wild look on his face. Kushina's eyes blinked rapidly as she tried to process what her son asking her, tell me it feels good. Kushina's face flushed once more, sweat dripping from her red hair and skin. FF feels good dia. Naruto gave a particularly hard thrust, intent on pressing against her pleasure-wet spot, satisfied with the strangled gasp that escaped. What feels good? His hand tugged on her redhead hair, getting a whimper from the redhead. Tell me what is making you feel so good, Mom. Your honey. She shouted, the pleasure that his thrusting was forcing out of her body. Naruto yanked her to him, pulling Kushina's head so that he could look at his pretty mom. Kushina's eyes flickered away from the mirror that broken earlier. Her big head moved up and down. She gasped at the big 15-inch thick keeps smashing her inside. Naruto savagely smashed her while he held her close. Naruto's mouth moved to Kushina's back and began ing her sweaty back with his tongue and lips. He continued pick up pace and repeatedly hit her spot, making Kushina squirm under him. The ninja went in and out without stopping, the ninja boy his mother constantly. Naruto, Kushina mumbled. Hearing his name in this situation from his subject of affection boosted his, making him increase the pace of his thrusts considerably inside Kushina womanhood wet. Yes, yes, yes. Pound me hard, son. She begged, unable to control her desires any longer, and her son gave the naughty girl a slap on her big again while he massaged her G-spot. And then another one, earning a sultry moan from his girlfriend. Harder. Faster. She begs more. He had hard thrust, while spanking Kushina big. He couldn't stop now. He had the responsibility to share with an incredible orgasm with his mother by ing his hot mom good senseless. Mom, he cooed and not slowing down even a bit. Me, you're better than your father. Kushina moaned for release. Yes, I'm your. Oh yes. Kushina shouted at the top of her lungs and Naruto her harder and faster. The redhead screams was louder in the hotel bathroom. Her secret lover was making her feel so good. Yes, baby. Harder. Just like that. Kushina screams with her big shaking, then her legs wide open, with her big ass were moving back and forth in the bathroom as sweat came on her body more, her arms on top of the front sank. Oh, yes me. That's the spot. The redhead continues to cry out. Naruto thrust inside his mom hard, more brutal. He started to move his hips harder. The ninja pounds into his girlfriend so hard. He saw his mother was shaking all over, her wet drip out of her legs. Kushina had leaked loads of semen. He didn't stop to pound her hard where he could see Kushina huge amount of wetness continues to rain down her thick legs. His chest hits his mom back who sink flat on the sank again with big thick was still in buried inside his MKM which he made a slow gentle stroke holding Kushina big sweaty with his left hand causing his girlfriend's secret lover to whimper in pleasure as he had cum inside Kushina. Oh my, that was amazing. Kushina giggles feeling the cum inside her. When she felt her son pop out his big that the cum splash out of her. Later. The crowd saw Kushina and Naruto out the hotel as the two wanted to go out for a night in downtown but they couldn't get their hands off each other. Naruto wrapping his hand around Kushina's body, tongues thrusting wildly against one another in search of dominance. Naruto grabbed Kushina big pulling her tightly into him and the people stare. Kushina's hands were everywhere at the base of Naruto's body. They were snapped out of their desire by the people in the hotel staring at them. Naruto stilled the movement of his hands on Kushina. Big rested his head on his mom's chest, and took a deep breath. We have to stop now, honey. Kushina whispered unsteadily. I don't want to stop. Naruto responded petulantly, taking one of his mom's nipples in his hands, pinching it lightly, then rolling it between his thumb and forefinger. Kushina looked around, seeing the crowd were on them. Oh my, was we too loud to cause a scene? These people don't know Naruto is my son. They may think we're a couple, that's all. So much of low profile, just act like a normal couple would do. Kushina thought. People are staring. Son, be normal and act like we're a normal couple, Kushina whispers to her son. His son took her nipple between his thumb and forefinger, pinching it lightly at the same time as he took her other nipple into his moist mouth, nipping and tugging. After lavishing each with his mouth and tongue, he relinquished hers, continuing his downward exploration of Kushina's skin, pausing to nibble the sensitive skin just below and to the side of her big. He licked and led his way to her belly button next. Then he looked up at his mom from their position when he stopped eating Kushina body parts, who look around the hotel room, who gasped. Mom has been right. People are staring at us. We was way too loud, aw man. Crap. Be a normal couple. Naruto thought, hearing a person shouting at them. Avenue, you two was way too loud, but point on a good show. The desk owner said with a wink towards Kushina and Naruto. We are so sorry about that, you see. I didn't see my boyfriend very often, I'm very busy lately. Kushina hold her boyfriend hand as she feel Naruto touch her in both of his hands, squeezing them roughly. I understand, no need to apologize, you two made our day, been working non-stop. The owner replied. You two were wonderful and hot together, have you ever thought about being porn stars? The crowd said next. Well, no. Kushina replied. Here's my card, I'm Johnny-san Bling. I would like to see you two together in the big screen of my movie I'm working on. You two be hot and look good on TV. He said. Handle the redhead his red cards, as you can see big tits and big butt on the center with his number on printed out. Kushina took the card as she and Naruto look on, grinning at each, knowing they play their part well just by being a normal couple. Then some businessman offered them a job to be porn stars. We think about it, but thanks for the offer. She said. Please do, you two can be my next big stars. You two are hot, what's your names? I'm Kushina and this is Naruto. She replied softly. The businessman looked over them, who saw the redhead sliding her hands around the blonde boy waist, pulling him close as he smiled and walked out the hotel. Kushina-san and Naruto-san, an attractive dark-skinned ebony woman, spoke out, glimpsing at the two hottie, crossing her dark legs. I'm glad you have agreed to be part of our team. You and Naruto have been fan favorites since your show in the hotel bathroom. Just look at you two, you are hot, and we're going to make you more popular. You two going to be attracting many viewers. She passed Naruto a document with a smile. Just need to sign there and we shall meet at the location next Saturday for your first movie. Is there anything you like to discuss first? Nothing on me. Naruto spoke, sighing his papers. I have one. I want us to wear masks to make the movie more entertaining. We don't want nobody to see our face, cause my real life private, and I don't want anyone to see me in porn. Kushina said. The ebony woman nods. I understand, Kushina-san. For your safety you don't want anyone else knowing about you doing porn. Next, back to business. I want women will come in with you two in the future. John-san Bling orders, but I just want you two to start a role first. Thanks for doing business. Thanks for your business as well. Kushina said by signing the documents, remembering she told her son they should be in porn by John Bling offer. Flashback. Son, I want us to be porn stars. She replied, taking the man offer. Well, I am a movie director and I think you two will perfect in my movie. Kushina couldn't help but stare. Did he really say that? Yeah, here's my card. He took a card from his pocket and gave it to Kushina. Kushina stared at the card. No way, no-ing way. It just wasn't possible. This man wanted her to be in movies. You two will look great in one. This will be a huge deal for both of you and you know it. She knew it being in a porn movie would do good for her and her son, they talk of the business. He had taken the porn industry with her, saying her and her son will be stars, and the way he treated his fellow women porn stars had drew in female audiences as well. Being a female porn star doesn't seem bad. I have to talk to my boyfriend first on your offer, Kushina started. I think you would want this. You will look excellent. Call me if you're interested. Naruto raised an eyebrow at his mother saying they should be in porn by the man who gave them that offer weeks ago. Kushina was cuddling up with him. Okay, mom wants me to have in front of people, being on TV. Wait, oh no, then that means Muscle Man wants to bang my mom, then dad will catch us on TV. No way that's happening, I'm not going to let that happen. He thought. Son, you're be silent for a minute. Kushina said, banging her fingers on her son's stomach, her long red hair moving out of her face. Why do we need to be in porn? We're going to get caught. Dad will see us or worse the villagers, Naruto declared. Oh, why not, son? Kushina smirked, getting on top of him with her big moving back and forth in his face, and the blonde ninja had both hands go up to touch his mother big tits. Because I will not any pretty boys touch you. Also dad will see us, I don't want to do this. Kushina rolled her eyes. Son, no other guy is going to touch this body. She replies, I'm going to make sure of that. It's just going to be us having together, and your father doesn't even watch porn. To get your worries down we can wear a face mask, so no one will know what are we doing. Then how about, maybe we can add another woman, but no guys besides, I'd want only you, no other guys. She grinned. Another woman, you said, mom. The blonde grins back. So you want a woman now and not some other guy, mom? So hot. I'm in for my mom to have lesbian movie. I can watch. The ninja grin at his mother. That got his attention fast. Kushina thought. Yeah, a woman, and we can have a woman also to have with us. So are you and son. Okay, we're doing this, mom. We will have a woman with us also, but no guys. I'm glad you agree, son. Just picture us going to be movie stars, son. I'm going to call John San Bling. Kushina purred seductively and leaned downing her son on the lips passionately. The following week she called John Bling. XX. She actually agreed on your offer. She and Naruto are here. Bling co-worker asked. Only on one condition, John San said, taking a sip of his beer. She doesn't want any other guys in her, only Naruto, but Kushina wants to lesbian with Naruto. Co-worker heard all about Kushina beauty, and she was indeed a beautiful woman from what he'd seen her coming in the office. I love her deal. Bling, we are going to be on top. I know. Kushina and Naruto are in, we film Saturday. He smirked. Saturday in the movie studio. Naruto, are you ready? The director aka John San Bling asked. Naruto looked over the set they had set up. The set was in style like a movie set and had a camera. This was a new set HD type of porn setup, with attractive camera angles. He nodded at the director and moved his gaze to search for the redhead he had been dying to see all day, who had been in the changing room. Finally, he found his mom. And she was even more beautiful. Kushina, and he is a porn star. Kushina has the best body on set, and they are given a porn name. He saw her, his mom. Kushina figure is hot. She was in a red long dress that hugged her thick body. Her big S bouncing out from what the seal saw was a very tightly laced corset. The red skirt was short and stopped from her waist. Her redhead hair was down by her shoulders. He could have sworn she looked more like she was an actress for a movie than a porn movie. He was staring at her face, who she was on a throne, and his mom had on a red glitter eye mask. He saw her look up towards him and their eyes met. He saw the smirk on her face as she shook her at him seductively. Even he could feel his mom stare at his appearance. XX. Kushina sighed heavily once the director asked her to be on a chair. She wearing a red Y dress, her makeup and hair being done well by a women's makeup artist. She has a red glitter eye mask on her face. She felt a gaze on her, and then she saw him, watching her son as he chatted with a crew member while looking good. Her boyfriend in movie clothes just like her. Kushina's mouth fell slightly open, licking her lips at her son. He looked even more like a hot movie guy. Naruto is in an armor black battle ninja suit with a sword in his hand. His hair was completely neat and his blue eyes brightened wearing a ninja mask. She can't help but look over and see his butt also, it was shaped so beautifully, just like his abs. What a hottie. My son looks great in his movie clothes. She felt wet between her legs as the redhead waited for the dictator's order to take action on their first real movie together. XX. Alright Mr. Naruto-san, it's show time. Princess Kushina is on her throne ready for action, John Bling director replied. Kushina's eyes met Naruto's smirking face. One of his eyebrows was quirked up as if in challenge to see if she would speak up first, breaking the rule she demanded. Alright, everyone ready. The director calls out, and Kushina sits down on the seat where they're supposed to start. Everyone gets in their places, settled in, and the director calls it out. Take one of the new movies on. The Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1 action. The director yelled, and Kushina felt all eyes in the room on her. Movie scenes. Why are you in my castle, ninja? I have guards everywhere. The guards don't like you coming here to see me. Kushina seated on her throne, remembering the script she was given. Oh please, those guards can't take me on. I'm the powerful force ninja in town, and besides I can't stop thinking of you, princess. He grinned, bowing to her, his gaze roaming down hungrily from her face and stopping at her big cleavage. He took a step forward. I wanted to see you again, princess. The first time I've seen you, I saw an angel, a beautiful redhead. His voice was why. Oh, you did? Maybe you can tell me more about how beautiful I am. Kushina licked her lips seductively. She bent her fingers against her legs, looking at those big muscular of the ninja. I can think of a few ways. He whispers hotly, and it makes her melt. She feels her knees wanting to buckle, to go completely out of character and scream, yes please son. But she has to stay in character. She has to hold that in. You beautiful like a princess, his blue eyes fixed on her body. Tell me, princess, do you fantasize about sleeping with a ninja? I have once in my dreams, but he wasn't with the enemy. I do dream of a haughty ninja. The redhead says. Well, your dreams may come true today, princess. You'll meet a haughty ninja. I'm the best in the villages. Come on, let's party if you know what I mean. The guards are knocked out by my fox powers. Let's have fun. His fingers were brushing across her exposé arm, lightly touching the top of her S, and Kushina had to in her breath. His blue eyes drop to her cleavage. Kushina's hand comes up and firmly grabs her big, squeezing it softly. She turned her head at the entrance of the door, knowing the guards were not coming. Then she was facing him, their lips inches apart. She stared at him for a moment, watching the wide grin on his face. "Ah, fine, who cares, you're the enemy, you're so hot, come here." Kushina stood up, her arms on the side of Naruto's black ninja battle suit, her thumb touching his mask that pulled it up a little to show his lips, and pressed her lips to his, her mouth to allow his tongue in. The response from him was great. Naruto's hand pressed soft little s from her jaw to her fluttering. She moaned once again as she felt his mouth tugging her neck down, undressed her red dress, and he had eaten her nipple, which he took in his mouth, circling his tongue around it. He undid his ninja pants and dropped them down just enough to pull his hard, stiff big out, holding it in his hand as he pushed Kushina back slightly, bending her big butt up on the throne as Naruto enters her. Slash. The camera is rolling on the two hottest couple. The director had wanted a scene before the end of the day. He saw the crew film their new stars moaning out. Mr. Ninja, right there, yes. She's great at acting, the director announced. He saw his other hottie boy star doing Kushina. Naruto was thrusting into her with a hard pace, her hands clutching on his biceps, and he picked up pace and repeatedly hit her spot, making Princess Kushina moan more and more. Oh more, she mumbled out with her big hitting the throne chair, her thick body bending on the throne while the ninja kept thrusting in and out, causing her body to water as the cameras zoomed into the couple. Yes, yes, yes. Pound me hard. She begged, shaking her butt back. Naruto slapped her on her big, causing the big butt to move in circles. Harder, spank me. Pound me faster. She begged. Kushina was sweating as much as Naruto, her eyes going to the back of her head. Yes, more. Naruto, don't slow down. This is some good action, now talk dirty to Kushina. The director let out. Naruto nodded and couldn't slow down. He was feeling good, doing his mom on a movie set. Princess, you feel good, he growls, and he bends forward to lick Kushina's sweater back. His other hand goes under to touch Kushina nipples, moving a nipple with fingers, and not slowing down even a bit. His muscular chest touch his mom back while he pounds into his mom. Good. You too, more screaming. John-san blinked, the director said again. Ah. Yes. Me harder, big boy. Naruto made a brutal thrust inside her, and suddenly Kushina let out another hard cry. She could feel her body orgasm and at the same time her ejaculate. The camera zoomed in on her that was dripping on the throne set, and her big move as you see it in the camera. Then went on Naruto muscle body and his big. Ah. Oh yes. Ah. Oh, yes. The ninja flipped her over to face him, her tits bounced up and down every time he slammed into her. I'm coming, I'm coming. Kushina screamed. Ah. She cried as her juices squirted out of her, soaking the chair. The blonde pumped his all over his mom face and big tits. Cut, cut, cut. Great job, you two. The director called out. That was amazing. Seriously guys, good job. You two just made your first movie. Movie scene end. Kushina smiled and realized she and her son made a movie together, that lasted for 1 hour 30 minutes. She was covered in cum that was on her body, noticing her son inhaling and exhaling heavily. He smiled softly at her. She wanted to know when her tape would come out, on what she and her son did together. Sir, when our porn tape be released? She asked. About next week it will release an ad about your movie on TV, now you two hits the showers. The director hands a towel to them. Yes sir, they said together. Next week. Somewhere on the other side of town in the Hidden Leaf. Tsunade House, 8:21 p.m. Upstairs in a bedroom where 3 beautiful women having Tenten a liking hot 2Y ladies who was in a secret relationship with 2 older Y women. Tenten was now in a secret relationship with 2 women, hiding it behind her friends, Sakura, Ino, Naruto. She felt both women getting closer to their release, her body with sweat dripping down her skin. Oh yeah, she gasped, grabbing Tsunade hips and pulling her even harder. I'm a for your two. She said, and her lips parted as the length of Tsunade dildo and Shizune slid between the plump and swollen lips, she whimpering after every thrust. It didn't take long for Tenten to moan again. Oh, yes. The ninja girl beauty husked, the smirk on her lips. You're both so big and thick. You make me come so hard. Oh, yes. More. Give me more of your S. She jiggled her big butt. Shizune, Tenten is so a little now. You like this, 2 women having with you. Tsunade movements are fast. I do, more. Give me more. Why yes. Ah. Just like that. Ah. She cry out, causing to tremble with a moan. Seeing Tsunade took both her legs in her hands and thighs as she move in circles, in and out rolling her hip, Tenten legs made a clapping sound when the toy S went in and out. Oh. Yes. Oh. Right there, is the best. I love it, and hiding it from my friends. Her body moved when she suddenly felt Shizune put her fingers in her butt, causing her to cry out a little louder. Good girl, you've been having a secret relationship with us. Shizune grinned, moving her fingers inside Tenten wet booty. Tenten head was tossed back and gray eyes shut. Ah. F. Shizune. The finger pushing in further in her super wet butt. She been a bad girly sneaking around to be with us Shizune. Tsunade grunt and licked her lips and heard Tenten moan when she pounded into her. You feel so good. True Tsunade. Tenten need to be punished being bad. Shizune said, looking at Tenten full big butt bounce up and down on her toy with her fingers went even more farther. Shizune, let's pound Tenten harder for being a bad girl. Tsunade growl causing the bed shook while they moved as one, and Tenten cried out when both lovers pounded into her even harder and deeper than before, pushing her over the edge and making her scream in ooh, she's so wet inside. Tsunade scream, her nails dug into the skin of Tenten's thighs. You like, she pushed herself all the way in and gyrated her hips. Ising you hard Tenten? Yes I do. I'm a bad girl. Tenten shrieked after a harsh thrust on Tsunade and feels the strap-on in her. Oh my. Her cries became constant and louder. I'm coming. The ninja girl felt like she was in heaven once, her orgasm tore through her entire body. Shizune followed right after her, pumping her hard into her. Thystand eyes rolled back, pull her fingers out and she threw her head back, panting and hissing as she came, several waves of pleasure tearing through her body. Shizune and Tsunade saw Tenten was coming, her juice soaked down her legs and hole open with juice running out. Tenten tongues came out her mouth as Tsunade came next and was the last one to join them. She fell forward wrapping her arms around Tenten when her orgasm hit her. Tenten held Tsunade and Shizune, causing her thighs to shake in one swift movement. Her big was flush against Thystand thighs and Tsunade bent down to them. It was almost sweet, when whispered their names. Oh, Shizune, Tsunade so good. Tenten said. Yeah, NNGH, holy shit, I needed that. Shizune grinned, and Tsunade giggled as she swept back Tenten hair out of her face before placing it on her forehead. Tenten giggled and ing her cheek softly who heard a TV ad came up seeing two couple porn stars on the TV. It was a hot ninja and redhead on screen promoting their new movie coming out called Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1. In the picture, you can see Kushina all wearing a red face mask, posing with her legs up on Naruto waist who he wore a ninja black mask, then her hands on his muscle chest. Shizune and Tsunade stopped ing Tenten and their eyes fix on the ninja form, their eyes moved down showing his big long, then went up to see him holding some redhead princess big butt. Oh my. The girl speaks out blushing at some hot ninja muscle and big, those two are hot. They says still blushing staring at a ninja hot guy and a redhead princess on the TV, their eyes fix at a porn movie next trailer of the ninja and princess scene. Princess, he breathed, I dreamt of this, love, he whispered in her ear. Folk this is a new film coming out of Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1, we got action, cum shots, doggy style, lesbian scenes, get it now of Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1. Just look at our trailer. The ninja was thrusting into Kushina with a maddening pace, the TV saw every single inch of the ninja dragging along her soaked walls, her hands clutching on a throne, with her big bounce. She moaned out loud when she felt his against her wet, more, faster, don't stop, slipping out of her mouth on the TV. Wow they are hot. We got in stars in the hidden leaf, I want that tape. Tenten reply holding Tsunade. Yeah Tenten, they are super hot. Shizune spoke up next spanking Tenten big butt. The princess was beautiful and so was the ninja as the porn stars had shown up on the TV wearing nothing but mask on their faces on the movie trailer. The redhead hair was down with her curls framing her face, she fell apart, her fluttering walls milking him dry. The redhead was definitely why attractive woman, how brilliantly thick she was from her body, as the three women, seen pornstar's body on TV. Tsunade and Shizune were both very horny again just by watching the ninja and princess movie trailer. As Tenten, we are horny again by us watching porn, Tsunade ordered, who pushed Tenten's shoulder down until she was kneeling in front of her and Shizune. Tenten smirk. Her pink lips wrapped around Tsunade and Shizune toy, her tongue circling their head who she bobbed up to the two-woman tip toy, her hands lightly squeezing their balls while both women moaned by just continued to stare at the movie porn trailer, with their eyes were locked on a hot ninja boy and a redhead woman princess the whole time. In Tsunade home the next day, upstairs the TV been playing of a movie trailer. Folks, a new film coming out of Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1. We got action, cum shots, doggy style, lesbian scenes, get it now of Ninja Meets the Beautiful Princess Part 1. The ninja thrusting into Kushina with a maddening pace, the TV saw every single inch of the ninja dragging along her soaked walls, her hands clutching on a throne, with her big bounce. Tsunade smirk at the TV and then she went under and cupped Tenten Big S, bing them, driving her crazy as Tsunade reached between her thick legs so she could Tenten thighs next. The ninja girl moaned, feeling her girlfriend use some fingers to play with either both her nipples and licking her. She saw Shizune her and pushed 2 fingers inside her wet, making the white Tenten pant and moan with pleasure. Oh, yes. She moaned. Ah. More you too. Yes. Ah. Take me from behind Shizune. Ah. Ah. With heavy sweat drops running down her body, Tenten was hot inside. Every time Shizune would move, a boat of pleasure would go shooting up her body, filling her with a hot wet juicy. Shizune been taking her from behind and dominating her harder and Tsunade eating her big. Quote exclamation mark. Shizune. Oh. She screamed, shaking her head when she felt the hot juices building up inside her once more. Shizune ate her long and hard. The girl rocked back against her hard. Her scream grew even louder when she felt Thystant move. Yes, yes. Tenten screamed looking over the TV of a porn trailer. Mr. Ninja, right there yes. Naruto was thrusting into Kushina with a hard pace, Kushina hands clutching on his biceps and he picked up pace and repeatedly hit her spot, making Princess Kushina moan more and more. Oh more, she mumbled out with her big hitting the throne chair, her thick body bending on the throne while the ninja boy kept thrusting in and out, causing her body to water. The camera is zoomed into the couple. Yes, yes, yes. Pound me hard. She begged, shaking her butt back. Shizune heard the princess on the TV when her toy was in and out of Tenten at a hard pace. She and Lady Tsunade wanted more of Tenten this morning after they had watched the porn show that been playing all night. Yes, 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 yes ss. Tenten head thrown back and scream of loud, her big butt clamping down on Shizune hard, her body shake by hot doggy. Then she felt Tsunade hands tightening around her and buttocks, driving into the ninja-dazed girl. Tsunade watches Shizune put the strap on inside Tenten once more, moving in Tenten big butt. The blonde woman tongue alternated between Tenten when she saw Shizune tip inside Tenten's center harder. They were all groaning and panting. Tsunade framed the ninja girl face with her hands and pulled to Tenten, who saw Shizune trust her harder and spread Tenten knees apart while spanking her butt. Oh, yes I loves yer, she groaned. Shizune, trussed up looking at Tsunade-ing the young girl, one hand on her big, the other one on her thick hip. Tenten closed her gray eyes, she felt like she's in heaven, feeling Tsunade take her mouth one by one, sunk her teeth hard. She just moaned when Shizune pounded her harder and faster while Tsunade her. Ah. More. Me more. Tsunade was ing her with a passion, tasting her lips while Thystant continued to pound into her. Tenten's sweaty thick body was coming off her skin and Shizune couldn't stop trusting who she'd yell. Oh yeah. Thystant grinned. She glanced at Tsunade-ing Tenten and she played with her hair who look at TV of porn also. Shizune had a feeling that her girl beauty were going to come very soon. She recognized how her hips were going faster, her bounce a little when she moved one hand between Tenten's sweaty legs to push 2 fingers into her. Tenten fell down, hugging Tsunade tightly. An orgasm started to build while Tsunade continued to her and Shizune her faster. Tenten, she panted, bucking up furiously. Yes. Yes. Tenten, Shizune shrieked, digging her fingernails in young girl big butt Hukum. When Shizune finally lifted herself off of Tenten booty, they all sighed. Tsunade leaned forward one last time to lick Tenten and Shizune dropped next to Tenten on the right side of her bed touching Tenten's beautiful body. Tsunade slipped off of her next and took her place on her girlfriend left side touching her girlfriend body. They were all hot and sweaty as they lay in silence for a few minutes, just holding each other. How about more? Tenten inquired grinning Bing both laid his sweetie bodies with her hands. I want more with you too. Shizune smirked back running her hand on Tsunade licking. Let's have more fun. Tsunade said as they all grin and all three of them started ing each other again with the porn still playing. 30 minutes later. Ooh Tsunade. Tsunade smirked and she had already inserted her new position on Tenten. It was a strap-on huge, like 12 inches tall and thick. Shizune was sitting on the bed, while her, propped up against the headboard who she watched Tsunade pounds into Tenten, waiting for her turn again. She and Tsunade another round will be hot with Tenten would sit in her lap, who will easing her big down around her big toy, Shizune hands on Tenten hips, guiding her down. She was going to take Tenten in the and Tsunade would take Tenten from the front in her. Thistant was watching her girl moan in pleasure and Tsunade pound Tenten body into the bed, Tenten grabbed at the bedsheets. Thistant loved watch the two girls making love, it was a turn on, she watched the young ninja tongue wetting her lips while she allowed her partner, girlfriend to go deeper and deeper in her now. Tenten spread her knees further to make room for the strap-on and wiggled her big butt out more for a room, looking seductively at Shizune over her shoulder. Tsunade joined them, positioned herself so the strap-on would feel in Tenten. You ready for more in you Tenten? Tsunade asked her girlfriend. Tenten reached for Tsunade's and bed her nipples gently with her thumbs. Oh, I'm ready for a DP again. The girl winks submissive. She ready for a triple, she going to have with two ladies at the same time again. Yes, Tenten groaned. Both Shizune's strap-on and Tsunade were so big inside her. Shizune moaned and Tsunade smirked. They all groaned together. Tsunade and Shizune loved watching Tenten between them enjoy the double penetration they were giving her. Tsunade leaned forward to Tenten again, who returned her eagerly. Her body sweating who moan, her body grow hot inside feeling 2s in her. As they moved, they could see and feel their hot moving in Tenten, turning the two ladies on even more. Meanwhile, Shizune was dropping all over Tenten watery shoulders and back pounds into her. Tenten was sandwiched between her and Tsunade. They both stretched her hole open, the ninja girl beauty loved every second of it. She's liking hot ladies, She's a freak, like the beautiful redhead on TV, having with the ninja boy actor. She felt Tsunade pounded into her, with her hand was on her. Shizune grip on her big butt. Both women moaned loudly and Shizune gritted her teeth moving her hips up. She wasn't going to last much longer. Tenten was so tight around her with 2s in Tenten butt and Thistant also could feel Tsunade dildo moving inside her girlfriend as well. It was incredibly stimulating as Thistant tip was so hard now that she was ready to explode again. The two gorgeous women move on her lap. Tenten felt both women getting closer to their release. Shizune allowed her body to do the same. Shizune wrapped her arms around Tenten and holding her close so did Tsunade. When their body went silent, the girls felt Tenten chest press against their bodies as she took in deep breaths, her body had sweat dripping down her skin. Oh yeah, when are we going to buy that tape? Tenten gasped, her hands on Tsunade's stomach and she felt it in her. Shizune groaned. When it will get released Tenten? I can't wait to watch the porn movie. It didn't take long for Tenten to moan again, oh, yes. More. Give me more of your Shizune smirked back pulled Tenten down more as far as possible around her throbbing big. The three women saw the trillers change where, you can see Kushina all wearing a red face mask, posing with her legs up on Naruto waist who he wore a ninja black mask, The same pic from last night, Kushina hands on the ninja muscle chest. Shizune and Tsunade. Tenten eyes fix on the porn star's form. Their eyes move down showing the two body then Tenten gasp out a scream. Give me more. Why yes. Ah. Just like that. Ah. She cry out her causing to tremble with a moan. Noting Tsunade took both her legs in her hands and thighs as she move in circles. In and out rolling her hip, Tenten legs made a clapping sound when the toy s went in and out. Oh. Oh. Yes. Oh. Right there, is the best. Her body move when she suddenly felt Shizune put her fingers in her butt, causing her to cry out a little louder. Let's see you can take a finger and two s in you. Shizune grin moving her fingers inside Tenten wet booty. Tenten head tossed back and gray eyes shut. Ah. F Shizune. The finger pushing in further in her super wet butt. She can take it Shizune. Tenten butt is so. Tsunade grunt and licked her lips and heard Tenten moan when she pounded into her. So big like the Y redhead on TV. True Tsunade. Her butt is bigger like the redhead princess. Shizune said. Looking at Tenten full big butt bounce up and down on her toy with her fingers went even more farther. Thy stance smacks her girlfriend big butt. Shizune. Look at Tenten jiggling that big booty as we her good, she can take all. Tsunade growl causing the bed shook while they moved as one, and Tenten cried out when both lovers pounded into her even harder and deeper than before, pushing her over the edge and making her scream in. Yeah Tsunade. Now Tenten ride our toy big S. Shizune breath out, pulling her finger in more. In ooh, she so wet inside. Tsunade scream next, her nails dug into the skin of Tenten thighs. Tenten shrieked after a harsh thrust on Tsunade and feels the strap-on in her. Oh my I likes. She circled her hips round and round, and so her cries became constant and louder. I'm coming. As the ninja girl felt like she was in heaven once again, her orgasm tore through her entire body. Shizune followed right after her, pumping her seed deep into her. Thy stand eyes rolled back, pull her fingers out and she threw her head back, panting and hissing as she came, several waves of pleasure tearing through her body. Shizune and Tsunade saw Tenten was coming again, her juice soaked down her legs and hole open with juice running out. Tenten tongues came out her mouth as Tsunade came next and was the last one to join them. She fell forward wrapping her arms around Tenten when her orgasm hit her. Tenten held Tsunade and Shizune, causing her thighs to shake in one swift movement. Her big was flush against thigh-stand thighs and Tsunade Tenten lips. It was almost sweet. The three women look over the TV and saw the trailer and picture of a redhead masked princess and a ninja masked boy had ended as the time three women got out of bed to take a shower together. In town. In the afternoon Kushina and Naruto were in a food court in the village where none was here, that much. Kushina is a porn star. A good one at it. Having best performance on her first movie with her son. She love her new job and her husband doesn't know a thing about her and Naruto doing porn and being a couple. Kushina was at lunch, looking around at a TV ad where her and her son made a big movie together that we're still playing. She look hot on TV, so do Naruto. Guys do you see that Y-mask redhead ing? She's so hot. The villager said to his friend watching the TV. Kushina smirk. She felt a gaze on her porn. She knew people was watching. She saw him, her son and was glowing from her morning with Naruto in the hotel. Later they will have to go back to work on making another scene but right now she and Naruto are out eating their lunch. The redhead wearing a red bikini top, with a high versus neck, showing skin and stomach, the line in front of her versus neck big opens up. She also had on new black skirt finished just above her white thighs that showed off all her curves and thong. She's gorgeous, her redhead hair down and she show her smooth skin and legs. She looks stunning. She had her phone in her pocket, with new 2 text messages declaring, "Honey I'm worried sick, you're been gone since last night," from her husband. Kushina heard another beep from her device which she ignored her husband text when look at Naruto wearing an orange top shirt and black pants. Kushina stared dreamily into Naruto and saw their lunch arrived, heard the man cheering on the TV at her. She's hot. They yell. The food being pushed around plates, they saw light were blinking. The noise filled, clinking of glasses, laughter of conversations watching the porn trailer. Naruto couldn't stop looking at his mom exposed skin. He has trouble breathing at her, tight red bikini crop top woman see-through shirt. There weren't any sleeves to speak of either, so her gorgeous arms were totally bare and the red crop bikini stopped an inch over her big. It exposed her S through the wardrobe, indeed though her luscious redhead locks ran down her back. The ninja hear people talks, having a good time and watching their trailer. He got to admit he liked doing porn. His secret girlfriend sat across him eating a salad of food. The blonde ninja still thought Kushina looked incredibly white this afternoon. They talked a lot while he saw people were seeing his mom in a doggy style position. His mom were in taking his up hair in the trailer scene. His in his mom butthole as he saw on the TV. While Naruto took this moment to look at Kushina chest by grabbing his attention causing the people to not noticing them. He wanted to have with Kushina again. Honey, you not hungry anymore? Kushina eyes move and she had a sly smirk forming on her beautiful lips, hearing the porn play out in the background. Naruto mouth swung open and closed before he could gather all his talking. Yeah, I'm hungry for you still mom. He smirked at Kushina while he glimpsed at his mom exposing legs. Kushina smiled sweetly at her son's cute face and her skirt spread out more. She smirked at Naruto and glanced around at the restaurant. The porn still going, and this was the perfect time to flirt with her son now in the restaurant, people minding their own business. The redhead pulled her cheese salad in her mouth seductive, licking it around her tongue, a cheese ran out her mouth. Drops of little pieces of cheese salad and juices dripped down her neck and rolled down past her. Crap. Naruto falls off his chair. Sir, the floor is not a place to sit down. The waiter said raising her eyebrow at Naruto who looked at Kushina clean herself up with a white napkin smirking. Sorry, I slip. He got up, watching her walk off. A few minutes later. They ended their meal with more flirting by Kushina, and she asked for the bill. Honey, we got to go our movie set. John-san just page me. Kushina told her son. Okay, let's go, do part 2 of our movie. Naruto walked up to her while he put an hand on her butt by giving it a slap and pay their bills and walked out the food court.